It might surprise some of you lot, but I'm actually a great chef, and that's why I use HelloFresh. They send you a box every week, and it's full of really tasty food that you can make super quickly and easily. All you have to do is follow their simple recipes. There's usually like 6 to 8 steps, which means I can get dinner done quickly. They've even got this new category called Super Quick, which gets you a healthy meal ready in 15 minutes. I went on the site, I chose from more than 44 recipes, so you can't get bored of the options. Now, the one I chose for today was the creamy chicken tikka masala with sweet potatoes and fluffy rice. It tastes great, and it actually works out cheap as well. Around £3.15 per portion of each meal, and that's before you use my discount, so I do look after you. And if you're quick, you can get a big discount from me. HelloFresh are offering 60% off of your first box and 25% off your next 2 months, including some free gifts. There's a lot of extras in there. You can either scan the QR code or you can click the link in the description below and use the code KICKOFF, all one word, block capitals, to get that great offer, and you can be cooking like a master chef yourself. The offer will work if you're a new customer or if you've cancelled your HelloFresh subscription a minimum of 3 months ago. And this amazing offer ends at the end of the month, so get on it now. But for now, enjoy the video. Sancho, January, looks no way back. He's not in the team photo for the season. I've not seen anything turn quite this sour. It's such a big name player, big wages, big club. Ten Hag really does take no prisoners in the way he treats players.
He's 23. He's on 350 grand a week.
I know, it's a lot of money. I think it's important he does that though, because even when I was watching and we keep going back to the David Beckham documentary, it's legendary.
I mean, it was class.
Yeah, but even seeing how, they spoke about Gary Neville, Paul Scholes, even Beck's just speaking about how Alex Ferguson ran that ship at Man United, and it was like his way or the highway, and he built a team of mini-me's. As a manager, you kind of have to do that. Like, the moment you bend or fold to a player's will, then you lose respect from everyone else.
Point, if that's okay.
Yeah, go on.
Different era, and also you can do that when you have all of the trophies behind you and all of the success behind you to go, you know who you are to me? You're nobody, because I got all these trophies. I'm the man around here. But when you're not that guy yet, and you've only won a Worthington fucking Cup or whatever the fuck we're calling the League Cup these days, the balls on you aren't going to be quite as big as Sir Alex. And actually,
I get that.
If I look back at the Sir Alex moments in that documentary, I did think to myself, you know what? The way you handled Beckham, you really fucked that actually, and you kind of got out of jail a little bit.
We're sort of saying there that, obviously you need that accomplishment to be able to make calls like that. But even more recent, and it's not to say he's massively done anything yet, but you look at Arteta, I would definitely argue that Aubameyang was more integral to that Arsenal team than Jadon Sancho is to this Man United team.
Agreed.
And a lot of us now look at that and think that was sort of the making of Arteta when he got rid of Aubameyang there. So and he didn't have those sort of credentials behind him at the time. He didn't have the strength to lean on to go, look, I'm the guy steering this ship in the right direction, so you can trust me here. And now it's looking like it's transpiring that obviously he is, and that decision came off trumps for him. So
the key thing that we're forgetting about here is we're all taking for granted that they're going to be able to offload Sancho and that there'll be clubs lining up ready to go. I'm going to tell you now, Sancho will sit there. He's on 350 grand a week. No one is going to be able to afford the wages. They won't be able to get him on loan. So I actually think it's actually naive from what Ten Hag has done, because he knows that he won't be able to get rid of him.
So now you've basically got an unsellable asset.
Yeah.
So the likelihood is you're going to have to pay a high percentage of those wages. So let's say another club wants to loan him. What's the maximum that they're going to be willing to pay per week?
100 grand.
Dortmund can have him pretty much for free when it comes to a fee, because they're still paying off instalments. So say they owe 40 million or whatever it is.
Why would Dortmund need him now? I don't know why Dortmund would take him now.
Well, they're actually saying that Dortmund are the front runners for him. Maybe it's just an easy comparison.
They would take him.
Okay, so let's say he goes back to Dortmund. So now Manchester United are paying 250 grand a week to Jadon Sancho. Dortmund are paying 100.
Just because he won't apologise.
But to be fair, let's hear Jadon Sancho's side of the story out, and I'm just going to put this across from him. Allegedly, he believes it doesn't matter what he does in training, it doesn't matter what he does. Ten Hag has Anthony as his guy. And while Anthony is fit, it doesn't matter what he does in training, it doesn't matter what Anthony does. He knows, Ten Hag knows, I'm going to be judged on my signings, not the last guy's signings. And I need Anthony to fucking pay off. So I need to fucking play him. So I don't give a fuck what Jadon Sancho does, because I need Anthony to show that I was right about.
Yeah, but you're right.
But don't you get pressure from the club though when you do that, when you got a player that's on 350 grand a week? Aren't they looking at you?
I think you create a problem when you show that an asset worth that amount of money has no value to the club, because then clubs who are coming in for him go, why the fuck should we pay him money when we know you don't want him and he's a nightmare for you? So you on your own have driven the bargaining power to zero. You have no bargaining power now. No. So I think the one thing that you could say about Ten Hag is, could there have been a way that you could have had that original conversation that you had in front of the cameras about him not training hard enough in private? And I know people have been on this show, I think KG, shout out to him, said, at the end of the day, he was just speaking the truth.
Nah.
And I get it, but it's putting Man United in a difficult position.
He should have had it behind. He should have had it behind closed doors, because for me, like I said, the context was important. Yeah. You did it after the Arsenal game when you conceded in the last minute to that Declan Rice deflection.
Yeah.
You were pissed off. Let's be real. You guys thought you at least had a point in the bag, and you was annoyed. And I felt like, I don't want to say pinned it on Jadon Sancho, but for me, it was unnecessary. He could have easily just said,
it was a little bit Glenn Hoddle, to quote the
It was Glenn Hoddle. We didn't need to throw him under the bus like that and say he's trained Paul this week, that's why he's not in the squad. Yeah. There's so many other things he could have worded and then had that conversation behind closed doors. So I understand Jadon Sancho's frustration. But also, that's why it's weird. If I'm Ten Hag and I've done that, I don't care if I've done that and then you tweet out that basically I'm chatting shit. It's a problem.
I think this shows.
It's a problem.
I think this shows one of Ten Hag's biggest weaknesses, in that he is more of an old school disciplinarian manager, and I don't think in modern football you can run football clubs in that way, because you've got lots of prima donnas, young players that want to be.
He done it at Ajax. He done it at Ajax.
Yeah, but I was a young. I don't give a counterpoint, and you let me know what you think. Arteta did it to Aubameyang. Everyone applauded him. It worked out well. But Arteta wasn't having multiple fallouts with multiple players like Ten Hag is. I do think that there's a pattern developing here where Ten Hag is, I like that. We love no bullshit managers, because we think you absolute overpaid pricks.
Who else does he fell out with, though?
Well, there's been issues with Maguire, Ronaldo. Ronaldo was definitely a problem.
Rashford, disciplined. McTominay.
Rashford, McTominay. But I'm not saying he's wrong on any of those. I'm just saying he's a no bullshit guy, and I respect that. But like you say, can the big pampered egos of modern footballers handle that? Some of them can't. No,
but you waste talent. And
if there's one thing I hate, it's that. All right?
No, but I'm an England fan more than a Man United fan, right? And for years, Jadon Sancho was developing so nicely in Germany. We were all excited for him to come over to the Premier League, play well. Let's be very honest about it. It was always a bit of a daft transfer when you bear in mind that he played on the left for Dortmund for years, and United are always going to play Marcus Rashford on the left-hand side. And whilst Anthony obviously is Ten Hag's boy, Anthony's got a left foot. So when he plays on the right-hand side, he can cut in. Sancho is never going to look good. He's also not fast enough for the Premier League, by the way, Sancho. But I just think it's so depressing that a player that was that promising, he might have attitude problems. Half of them do. You don't think half these players are arseholes?
Yeah.
Of course they are. That's the job, man.
A lot of people saying that Cole Palmer has an attitude problem, for example.
Of course
That's why they're saying that Man City were happy to
you know the ironic thing about this Sancho thing as well, yeah? Of course, all right, his best football was played at Dortmund, but you look at who he's playing alongside. He was playing alongside Haaland at Dortmund, and obviously they complemented each other massively, and he was able to lay on creativity and assists for Haaland. Now, he's at Man United. They've never really had a player who's in that sort of mould. Now they got Højlund there, right? And I'm not just making the comparison on his name, but I'm actually saying, like, he's sort of in that mould a little bit. I actually think that it's disappointing that we're not going to get the opportunity to see maybe how them two link up, because sometimes one player can get brought in, it massively complements that player's game, and then all of a sudden they just completely evolve as a player, and it revolutionises the way they're playing. And I actually think there's potential, when you look at the relationship he had with Haaland and the style of play they were sort of showing week in, week out, there's potential there that he could come in and do a really good job partnering with Højlund as well. But
when Højlund came in, he must have been like, oh, come on.
Yeah. It's a bit sick, because KG talks about how often have we seen a Sancho game for Man United where we're like, what a game. We haven't, but you're missing a key component. Like, would Kevin De Bruyne look as good without good strikers in front of him who he could feed, like Aguero, like Haaland? It helps. It absolutely does help. You can't take that away from him. So to now have that ability to put Højlund up front and to not give that chance to Sancho is a shame.
I just think develop the kid. Like, if you're a coach, if that's your thing, especially you come out of Ajax, the whole point of Ajax is you develop young talent. Like, just give him.
But you know what? His argument would be, I sent him away to get his head right. Where did he go? He went to a personal camp for something.
Amsterdam.
For a while.
Do you know what? I've gone to Dan many a time to get my head right. So.
We all know.
But yeah, I mean, that would be his argument. But I hear you, though. I think he should be just, rolling up his sleeves and really taking him under his wing.
Can I just say also, right? I know that Ten Hag might think, oh, well, that's not my job. I am the first team coach. But also, like, if, for example, you completely cut off the relationship in your head and you think, right, I am done with this fella, do you not then have to go damage limitation and think, okay, I'm done with him, but other clubs might not be done with him. So instead of me outing him in the media and me showing everyone that, he's going to be a bad influence on your dressing room and whatnot, why don't I nurture this in a way that then my employers can then go and get the maximum amount of money for him if we're able to move him on?
For Sancho, did you have to put that kind of like the statement could have said something along the lines of, look, I agree to disagree with the manager. I thought I'd been training hard enough. Clearly, I need to up my levels, and I'm going to do that now. But I really have been trying. Like something that is a bit more, palatable. It was very like. It was kamikaze.
He didn't need to pin it.
There's two egos at play there, isn't there?
But you're going to lose. It's the manager. To be fair to Ten Hag, the issue is this is a bit of a. We're seeing a few of these with Ten Hag, and I don't think it's going to be the last by any stretch of the imagination. However, if Newcastle could sign Sancho, I wouldn't. Just based on that statement, it was too your ego for what you've achieved in the game. You need to calm yourself down, Paul.
I also just think, like, culturally, like, Ten Hag's never managed in the UK. He's not managed that many English players. He's probably not managed like players before. I'm not saying there won't be any that have just looked at him and thought, mate, you're a right prick, aren't you? Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm not saying he is, but like that is what Sancho's probably doing.
He's never managed superstars. Like Ibrahimovic said it, and he said, look, going from Ajax, where you've got a bunch of potential young kids who are wanting to learn the Ajax way, it's completely different to like basically superstars who've already proven to a degree they deserve to be at Old Trafford.
Sancho's probably got a nicer car than him. You know, but he probably has. Do you know what I mean?
Shit.
Yeah, he tweeted that.
No, but seriously, but let's be serious about that. Has he ever managed a 350 grand a week kid before? That's a big difference.
Yeah.
Those Ajax kids don't have anything like that kind of money. And when you're Jadon Sancho, you know that. He's not stupid.
When we're looking at it from like Sancho's point of view, I know in my personal life how stubborn I can be with things. Even if I know that it shoots me in the pocket, it shoots me in the leg, I know that I'm like, nah, I ain't taking that on. I'm not working with him. I'm not whatever. I know how I can be with things like that. So of course, someone with an ego of a footballer, rightly so, been playing at the top level since they were a kid. Of course they're going to be that.
But do you know what else it is as well? People always look at like the actual incident and they never really look at it from the point of view that it could be the straw that broke the camel's back. Yeah. Like we don't see their interaction
we don't
on
know
a day
happened.
today.
Yeah.
We don't know if, Ten Hag's being a dick to Jadon Sancho on a training ground or in the canteen
no doubt he probably is.
Or whatever. So he's probably thinking, fuck this. Like this guy's then thrown me under the bus in front of the public and I'm not having it now. And now he wants me to come lick his ass basically and apologise.
It did feel like a final
do that
straw.
in life.
I've lost jobs I needed because my manager was a knob.